Fun to do, so we're gonna roll with it. World boss locations tier list. I have most every location in RuneScape separated into regions. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we would rank places that a world boss would be. I myself would think a world boss in RuneScape would be really fucking cool. I think that people say there's like a FOMO aspect of, oh, if you have it happening certain times of day, people are going to be required to log on. Let's forget about that. Let's just assume it doesn't need to happen like that. Let's just assume there's going to be like no content you're missing out from. That being said, we're going to dive into this. Right here, we got Fossil Island. Where would a world boss go here? It really wouldn't. There is like no space for a world boss to pop up here unless it pops up on the beach, which would kind of be cool. Alternatively, it could be under the water. Fossil Island has an underwater section, and I feel like if they were to expand that and make it so that you can fight a world boss underwater, that'd be kind of cool and unique. So the proof of concept is there. They can definitely put some content into the water, but the overworld of Fossil Island is pretty mid. That being said, I'm gonna put it at a solid B tier right now. Ape Atoll. Ape Atoll would be kind of funny. There's a good amount of open space in this bottom area over here. You can clear out some trees, get a world boss like, I don't know, like right in the middle of there, or even like right over here. And I think the monkeys are cool too. You can get some monkeys in on the fight. That'd be kind of cool. You get like some NPCs that are like, they spawn in with it, NPC monkey archers, and they start attacking the world boss, waiting for other players to show up. I think that'd be a little neat. It's still not like the best place. There may not be a best place for something like this to occur. I think we're gonna put Ape Atoll B tier. We're gonna move Fossil Island down to C tier. Feldip Hills. Feldip Hills would be an absolutely fantastic place to have a world boss. The whole place is wide open. Fairy ring teleport on top of all of these open areas. People can get there quickly. You'll run into some friendly noobs doing their hunter rumors. It's always good to see community and people getting together and doing things. I think we're gonna put Feldip Hills as a certain A tier. Fremennik Province is next. This is just the province, not the islands. Maybe it could spawn near this golden apple tree, like maybe a golden apple world boss. That'd be like kind of silly. That'd be fun. And then you have all of this open space over here. And you could do that thing I said with Ape Atoll, where as the world boss spawns in, maybe you have some Fremenniks who are like fucking stabbing it with their Sears rings. I think it'd be better than Ape Atoll, yeah. Okay, this confirmed what I was thinking. We're not paying attention to the blog post. It was a little enlightening seeing where the spawns could be in the areas. Yeah, no, now that I think about it, I'm gonna factor in to this list the sense of community. For instance, Fossil Island has a lot of people on it. If a world boss pops up in Fossil Island and it doesn't take up that much space, it'd be kind of cool going to it and being like, oh my God, look, it's all the people going here. There's people doing their birdhouse runs. I think it would be awesome if people had to stop doing birdhouse runs because they were afraid of dying to a world boss. That is fun and interesting. This game needs fun and interesting. That's fun and interesting. And now that I think about it, most of this list is going to be cultivated using that same thought process. Like, are there people around there in the area? If there are, it's going to make it for a better location. I think Fossil Island is an A tier. It used to be C tier, but after rethinking it, looking at the blog post, Fossil Island definitely an A tier spot. Yeah, I want the hardcore Iron Man to be terrified. You can always hop worlds. Fremy, you'd say C tier? Yeah. Feldip Hills we'll put down to B tier. Next up, what is this? Oh, this is a fun spot. This is a fun spot. Mos Le'Harmless and Harmony. Imagine a world boss popping up here and everybody just needs to rush over and actually do shit on this dead island full of dead content. Both of these islands are dead. There's nothing going on here. Yeah, I'm thinking A tier too. No one goes there. Imagine everybody just funneling in there. Granted, I said we would take into consideration how many people are like at the places and doing things. However, I really do think Mos Le'Harmless. Mos Le'Harmless. I'm just gonna say mostly harmless. I think mostly harmless. Oh my God. I think mostly harmless and Harmony Island are gonna be A tier. Bro, imagine if you had to like be in a Trouble Brewing game. Like imagine if the world boss spawned in Trouble Brewing. I don't know, figure it out. Do something crazy with it. You're putting a fucking world boss in the game. Take risks. I think no meme, it would be a really funny spot for a world boss. I think Harmony's going A tier. Oh my God. Oh my God, do we have a doozer up next? Saber, get ready for this. Entrana. So what do we know about Entrana? You can't bring shit on it. They'd be kicking or punching the world boss. They'd be crafting their black dragon hide. They'd be fletching their magic short bows. They'd be like whittling the Draman staff. Unironically, like no meme at all. I think Entrana would be an S tier tier location for a world boss. I think it'd be a good opportunity to get people thinking out of the box. I also think it could spawn like, I don't know, it could spawn here, here, here. It's not like a big, I just looked at the possible spawns for Wrathmaw, and it made me realize like a world boss, even in old school RuneScape, is really tiny. It's not like Diablo where you need an entire portion of the map sectioned off just for a world boss spawn. It would be just so funny seeing people going there and crafting their own bows and fighting a level 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 boss over 9,000. Entrana is an S tier location for a world boss. Isle of Souls. Isle of Souls. There's a huge problem with the Isle of Souls. It's really big. Walking around it sucks. And there's shit to do, but it's just, I don't know. Isle of Souls just doesn't feel like RuneScape, if that makes sense. I've walked all the way up to this little cave so many times, and it takes so long. And there's like nothing to look at on the way there. It's not like walking through, where's Civitas? Walking like down here to over here, walking through the savannah. I'm not gonna lie, like Varlamore is an amazing spot. They did a lot of good shit with Varlamore. But I think, yeah, I think Isle of Souls, it's like, you could put a world boss there, but it's so detached from everything. I think Isle of Souls is D tier. What do we have next? Is that Troll Country? So Troll Country, I assume, is like Death Plateau and up. There's Ice Path. This is all like Desert Treasure. God Wars is right here. God Wars is already in Troll Country. What is this? What is this? You have no idea what this is. What is that? What the fuck is that? Can I look at it in the game? Does it have a name in the game? Zoom in. No, there's no name. Yeah, I have no clue what this is. I think Troll Country does a good job at being a place to do a lot of quests. Everybody knows God Wars dungeons there already. I don't imagine a world boss near Weiss would be that interesting. I think it'd be kind of cool, like, if you had one spawn like here in like Dad's Arena or Rock or whatever the fuck that troll's name is. However, it's mountainous, it's rocky. Not a lot of places to put it. The best spot would be like on top of the roof where the farming patch is of the troll stronghold. I think it's going C tier. It's definitely not D tier. It's not that bad. Morytania. This one should be easy. So like Morytania is huge and there's a lot to do nowadays. Like there is so much to do in Morytania nowadays. Yeah, there's too much content there already, but I think that's kind of like the good part about it is imagine a world boss spawning right north of Tob in World 416 and you just see a bunch of people in infernal capes and max gear just flocking north in order to kill it. I think it has a lot of good locations to spawn. Yeah, exactly. Tobber's fiending a chance for good loot. And you know, while we're speaking about loot, here's my take. If you have a world boss, it should drop a twisted bow. Because that'd be funny. 1 in a million, like an armadillo helmet when you're doing a clue scroll. 1 in a million chance at a T-bow. Anyway, I think there's so much going on in Morytania already, boss-wise, endgame-wise. It's got a lot of good shit. Dragon Tooth Island would be funny. Barrows would also be a really cool spawn for it, actually. It's definitely a B-tier spot. Not bad, not great. It's got enough going on already. Look at this dumbass list. Fossil Islands, Mos Le'Harmless, and Entrana. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh god, yeah, this next one is so bad. So Tirannwn, I guess, kind of encapsulates, you know, Poison Waste. It would be funny to have a world boss here, but it wouldn't be like good, I don't think. Like, who wants to actually navigate between the little obstacle course that is Isifdar? Like, Isifdar is basically a rooftop agility course. That being said, yeah, I think this is just a blatant D tier. Oh, South Kandarin. I split Kandarin into north and south because it's so big. Or you know what, we'll treat Ardougne like a little line. We're gonna assume the world boss isn't gonna spawn within castle walls. North of Gutenoth, south of Ardougne. Where would the world boss go? We got a little open areas over here. I think, you know, they do have the battlefield. I think the battlefield is a pretty good spot for it to spawn as well. There really is a lot going on here. There's a lot of quests to do, a good amount of traffic to this area. Like, this is an area that if you just like put your account like, I don't know, anywhere for like 10 minutes, like you'll stumble across other players. I think this is like a solid location. It's not like too bad. And it also kind of needs some more endgame content. We'll put it at a solid B or A, because I like how many people are in this area almost all the time. So when you flock to a world boss, it's like, you know, you get to be with the RuneScape community. You get to see noobs doing quests. Yeah, we'll do high B on that. Oh my god, my kitten is dying in like 30 seconds. The desert, okay. Look, the desert. Yeah, this would be a great spot for a world boss. There's so many open areas for it to spawn. A lot of open areas for the world boss to spawn. It'd be, you know, it's cool to have people go go like running between the desert. Like there's so much dead air in the desert. You are doing everything possible to not run around the desert. Imagine this. Imagine a world boss that has like a giant mole mechanic where you'll be fighting it over here and then it's a certain health it teleports and you don't know where it is. You got to go find it again. I think if they did a little hide and seek mechanic such as that, it would be like a goated spot. So once the world boss goes somewhere else, you just see 60 people scatter, or 100 people, or 200 people. High A tier for the desert. Next up is Karamja. It's kind of got the desert vibe. There's a lot of cool spots for it. It kind of also has the added benefit of it. There's a good amount of quests to do in Karamja, and you'll run into noobs. I think running into noobs is a huge plus. And if they also applied the hide and seek thing, like they do a giant mole to a world boss in Karamja, I also think it would be a really solid location. Imagine if they had it in like Morylrek as well, like the Tazar city. I'm not opposed to world bosses spawning in dungeons. Karamja, it's A tier. Ooh, the Fremennik Isles. Mixed emotions on this one. There's a lot of spots it could spawn. Like, I think it'd be really funny to have a world boss on like one of these islands and people have to go fight it on the island. It would bring some life to the islands. A Pirate's Cove boss would go crazy. I'm thinking it's a little lower, but it's not the worst because it would be cool to get people in this location. We can kind of do that thing I was talking about with the monkey archers, for instance, on Ape Atoll. World boss spawns in, you have some Fremenniks or even some like ice trolls, for instance. I think we'll do, it's maybe, I don't know, is it high C? Yeah, I think it is C. We're gonna go high C tier with it. High C tier. Is this Kingdom of Kourend? Oh no, this is Kebos Lowlands. Kebos Lowlands. Kebos Lowlands doesn't need much more going on with it. The Stranglewood would be a really cool spawn. I think it's a decent spot. No, I don't. No, I was gonna say it's a decent spot because you have the farming guild and there's people at the farming guild. A world boss outside the farming guild would be really cool. Like you just have people going to do their farming contracts and then they're like, oh God, we can't do the farming contract. There's a world boss, I'm scared. I'm a big fan of disruption. I think it's another C tier. Kingdom of Asgarnia, yes, the Kingdom of Asgarnia. Pretty cool place for a world boss. It'd be middle of the road. It would just be really funny popping up a world boss in a location where there's no noobs. You got a bunch of different spots for it too. You've got open forests. You've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at like 15 locations right now one could spawn. Right near Goblin Village, this whole place right here where the Rapunzel lady is, you know, that could use some livelihood. I think Asgarnia should actually be like a middle of the road standard. Like it's kind of B tier. Kingdom of Asgarnia, that's pretty middle of the road, and Feldip Hills, we're gonna downgrade it to, we're gonna downgrade it 1 notch. Ah, Varlamore. Varlamore is fantastic. Everything about Varlamore, there's a lot of cool mechanics and cool ways to train skills in Varlamore, and they had this whole avium savanna, which really would be prime for a world boss. And it's new. It's new, it's fresh. If a world boss were to be here, it would be welcomed. And there's gonna be more coming to it. This is just the, you know, the Varlamore that's out as of September 16th. I'm hesitant to put it in S tier with Entrana, but I feel like I shouldn't be. I feel like it's got everything. It's got noobs, it's got people who do things in it. I'm not gonna lie, I really do think Varlamore is an S tier location for world bosses. This is the Kingdom of Kourend. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I think it's like a middle of the road Falador type location. Maybe a little worse. There's a lot going on, but there's not as much necessarily to do. You're not going to go to Piscarilius and 100% find somebody doing the little thieving activity that they have there. What Kourend does have that kind of brings it back for me is that Kourend does have so much area and it has so many locations that a world boss could spawn in. I don't think it's as good as Falador, but I do think it's kind of middle of the road. I'm hesitant to put it at C tier, but I think we're gonna go B tier. Low B for it, low B. Okay. Here's where we're gonna rustle some jimmies, because we have the wilderness next. Here's the thing. People don't want a world boss in the wilderness. It was one of the biggest failures for a poll in RuneScape's history, really. However, what I'm about to say is not in the context of I want to revive the wilderness. It is in the context of, I think it would be fun as fuck. Just looking at the wilderness, think of all the spawns. Oh wait, I don't have to. They showed us all the spawns. There's so many spawns. The wilderness already it really does have a lot going on. Not from like a PKing standpoint, but it does have a lot going on from a PVM, shit to do, progress your account standpoint. It has the Chaos Altar, it has the Chaos Temple for getting a bunch of shit. It also has the Ferox Enclave, just smack dab in the middle of it, which is honestly one of the best locations in the game that they've added in the last few years. The jimmies are about to get rustled because I actually believe the wilderness is a fantastic location for a world boss. Now, I have a little bit of hesitation because of multis and multi-PKing and shit like that. I think it's stupid as fuck if clans were to come in and fuck people up while they're doing the world boss. That being said, the Revenant Cave is, I think, the only location in the game with singles plus. I think if they made some singles plus locations and had the world boss only spawn in the singles plus locations, the wilderness actually is an S tier spot for a world boss. But again, we're not operating under the assumption that we're gonna have FOMO content or something like that. We're operating in a sense that this game could be fucking fun with a world boss, and I think it would be a really cool addition, just not in the wilderness itself, especially where there's clans and multi-PKing and all that bullshit. Take that out, keep the PvP aspect to singles plus, limit it a bit. I really do think wilderness is an S tier location for a world boss. Next up, oh my god. Next up would be Tutorial Island. I'm not gonna lie, I put it on the list as a meme, so if there was a meme tier, it would be meme tier. So assuming we could go to Tutorial Island, what do we got going on there? Not much. There's noobs. It'd be funny for a world boss to spawn around noobs, but I mean, not really. Is there like a make tier button? Tutorial Island, it's meme tier. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of funny, but that's really it. All right, next up we have the Kingdom of Misthalin. Because it's so close to Asgarnia, it should be placed a little alongside Asgarnia in ranking. However, the Kingdom of Misthalin is like so old, so historic. I really don't think we want to touch it that much. This also encapsulates Varrock up to Edgeville and like Barbarian Village. A world boss would look better up here than it would down here. I'm very pro don't change a lot of Lumbridge, Draenor, and like this early game for the nostalgia reasons, for the history. That being said, I think Misthalin is gonna go, I think it's D tier. Like, just don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Next up, Kandarin North. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a solid spot. I think it's better than Kandarin South. Like, Kandarin South would be a good location, like I said before. It would be decent. I think it'd be a little better just because of the open areas. Kandarin, where did I put North Kandarin? I think it's still B tier. It's B tier like the other one. It is what it is. And then the final one is Crash Island, which is also kind of in meme tier. My honest opinion, it would be a funny spot. You have one world boss spawn on Crash Island, which is a place just nobody goes. I think it's super silly. I think why not? But yeah, we're gonna do meme tier for it because, I mean, fucking look at it. It's like one of the islands on Tutorial Island. It is so meme tier. This is it. This is our tier list.